Hello, everybody, and welcome to Virtual Bourbon. We have a fun one here. We've got Whiskey Fights number 2. So this is something that we started last month. It's scheduled to be a monthly event. And what's kind of fun is last month we did 5 whiskeys blind. And then, of course, we go through and we taste them. We kind of all share tasting notes and nosing notes. And then we go through a second time after we completed that first run through. We go through a second time to see if anything's changed, if it's gotten better or worse. And then we give you just a little bit of time to rank them 1 through 5, 1 being your favorite of the evening, 5 being your least favorite. And then we put them into a spreadsheet. And with our scoring system, it comes up and tells us which is the best one there. So that's kind of how the works, and then the runner-up was Phil because it came in second place. So what we know now is it isn't 5 totally blind this time, because I don't tell you anything about these, but you do know that first and second place are invited to attend the next month's event. So that means our champion Buffalo Trace will be in here, as will runner-up Jim Beam. So you know 2 of the 5 products, but you don't know anything about it, because we say that anything goes. Anything in their portfolio can be utilized in these events. It doesn't have to be a bourbon. It can be a rye. It can be an American whiskey. So it can be literally anything, a proof. We don't look at that we don't try to, we need them all be the same proof. We don't play that. It's just, we put in 5 and just see what happens. So that's kind of the fun of what we're doing. And we'll see what happens. Can our champion go for 2 in a row? Well, we'll see after we go through and taste all these. I want to say hello to Kathy Cool, who's joined us. Hey, Kathy, what's going on there? So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started with the tasting portion. So A should be poured. Let's go ahead and pour B, because we like to pour one ahead. That'll give B time to sit as we talk about A. So let's pour that B right now. But then once you do that, set B aside, because we're not talking about that. We're going to be talking about A. Again, group size is small enough. You can keep your mics open, and we will call on each of you as we get into the tasting notes. But we'll start with nosing it, which is more of kind of just throwing it out there. Wow, that's pretty darn pleasant on the nose. I mean, kind of a caramel candy, maybe a, Werther's, or maybe some sort of, caramel custard. I mean, creme brulee. I mean, good. What are you guys thinking as you nose that? Anything?
Little apple.
Little apple. Okay. Yeah. Little fruit.
Little tart cherry.
Tart cherry. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say cherry for sure.
Cherry. Okay. That doesn't sound too bad, does it? Sounds okay.
Yeah, I'm getting cherry as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, toffee and brown sugar.
Coffee and brown sugar. Okay. A couple classic notes there. Kind of a lot going on there. I mean, kind of baked goods too, like some sort of cake, confectionery. And a little spice in there. So that's what we're getting on the nose. So seems like it's going to be pretty good. Let's first one tonight. Cheers, gang. Let's give this thing a taste and see if we can start pulling some tasting notes.
Definitely cherry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely cherry. What are you thinking, Kathy, more on the cherry? Are you thinking more cherry like the fruit taste, or cherry like you get in, wild cherry lifesavers and stuff like that? That sort of candy cherry.
Maybe more of a candy cherry. I was thinking like a cherry pie filling, but more like the candy cherry flavor.
Okay. That's good. I get that brown sugar mixed in there too. So that's definitely a part of what we're tasting. Mike Gaskamp, what are you getting there, man?
Yeah, you guys were spot on with the fruit and the kind of the pastry confectionery. Again, I get, like cherry pop, cherry turnover or something like that with a
Okay.
vanilla frosting on it. And it kind of hangs out through the flavor too.
Yeah. Yeah.
As advertised, it tastes like it smells.
Mhm.
Well,
Little,
that's a little bit of a different take from the cherry candy. For me, it's like Mike was saying, it's holding its flavor all the way through, but to me, it tastes more of like the actual cherry itself.
actual cherry. Okay. Like the fruit. Yeah. And there's a little spice to it too. Mouthfeel is pretty good. I mean, it's decent. Jeannie, how about you? What are your thoughts as you taste this first one?
Yeah, there is the cherry spice, and then it almost feels like if I kind of move it around in my mouth a little bit, a little bit of powdered sugar. It reminds me of like a powdered sugar with cherry.
Okay. Okay. That's good. I like that. Milton, how about you?
Still getting the brown sugar, and as you say spice, I'm really picking that up on the palate.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely there. Paul's at Lux Row tonight. Yeah.
Just keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, it looks okay there. So you look good. So what are your thoughts as you taste this first one?
I put down a little bit like you took a little bite of Oreo filling.
Okay. Little Oreo
And that's
filling.
partially because I get a little viscousness out of it,
Yeah.
little coating
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that thrown in with the vanilla.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Mitchell, how about you?
I'm sorry, I missed that question.
Oh, no, I'm just asking tasting notes, what you were getting there as you taste this
Oh
one.
yeah, I'm also picking up some vanilla as well.
Vanilla. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sean?
The cherry is still lingering, or actually, I take that back. I didn't pick up that much cherry at the beginning, but now, like, the finish is just cherry and not really going away, so, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah. Sometimes when you drink a bourbon, you kind of get the tingles, like the rye spice and that, and you kind of get that. It's kind of just a little almost numbing effect in your mouth, and I kind of get that kind of on my tongue. I'd say it's you're kind of getting a little bit of that with this one, not as harsh as some of the ryes and things like that you get, but I'm getting definitely a little bit of that sort of tingle on my tongue right now. So on the finish part of it, so that's interesting. Terry, how about you?
Yeah, I got mostly cinnamon and sugar at first. I don't know. I didn't really get the cherry until about the third or fourth sip. I don't know if it was my palate adjusting or the power of persuasion.
Right. You hear cherry enough times. Every person's going through and saying cherry. Suddenly it's like, yeah, I'm getting a little cherry here.
Yeah, and I thought the finish was kind of wasn't a real long finish, but it was moderate, not too much of a burn. I thought the finish was pretty pleasant.
Yeah. What you bring up a good point, because it's interesting about these. It's almost like two different things. Sometimes it's like you described it, where you just hear it enough times and then all of a sudden you find it. Other times you're searching your brain for what is that taste? What is it? And then somebody will say something like, I'm getting, like a cherry pie. And all of a sudden it's like, yes, that's exactly it. So it's almost like it happens in two different ways. But yeah, I get it. So sometimes it does help with the group tasting. I think that's what makes these things so fun for sure.
Right.
So,
When Terry said cinnamon, it said, "Yep, cinnamon."
yeah,
That's what I mean.
it's like it's an aha moment for sure. It's like
I get like vanilla and cinnamon in almost every bourbon now. I mean,
Yeah.
those are kind of those are the first things that pop in my head, and then I'm like, what else is there? You know?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's set A aside. Let's go ahead and pour C. So we'll put that aside again for a minute here, and because we're going to be talking about B, but let's get C sitting there in the glass. So we're putting C aside, grabbing the B, and that's the one we're going to talk about. So this one's definitely less on the nose than our
Maybe a
first
little
one.
florally.
Yeah, kind of florally.
It's got almost like no legs. Very, I don't know if you guys are swirling it. I'm not getting a lot of legs.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of like delayed. Maybe there's some legs because I can see some appearing, but they come a little bit later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
here they come.
yeah. Interesting. Yeah, there's quite a bit there. I don't know if we can even see it, but yeah, interesting. All right. Anything else on the nose? I mean, maybe like, which it's pretty bland, but I'd say almost like maybe a waffle batter or something like that.
I could smell a little more of the ethanol in that too, like a ethanol smell.
Yeah. Interesting.
A little warm bread or something.
Okay. Let's try and see what we got on this one. Let's give it a whirl.
Ooh, spicy.
It is spicy. Warms up pretty nicely, it's good finish on it for sure. Definitely spicy. Cinnamony, as you talked about. There's definitely some cinnamon there.
I don't know. I could be crazy, but I'm kind of picking up like a little bit of a pickle taste.
A little pickle, okay. Yeah, you sometimes get that in when you're tasting.
Let's all say
whiskey.
pickle enough so we all taste the pickle.
I'm gonna downshift that to dill.
To dill, okay.
There you
Okay.
go. Yeah, I can honestly say I've never had that ever come to me when I've tasted anything, and I'm really picking up kind of like a dilly, a pickle-ish taste to it.
Yeah.
And front for me anyway.
Yeah. Definitely this one hits for me more on the savory side. The first one was more on the sweet side with those cherry flavors and cakes and all that kind of stuff. This one is definitely more savory. Seems like it would pair better with like a steak or something like that, versus your dessert, I guess.
It's got, it lingers nicely.
Mhm.
I'm still feeling the spice in my mouth.
Oh yeah.
But it's not burning or anything. It's just a little warm. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a warm tingle, and it's still holding there just from my first sip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the more sips I take, the more I like it. It's actually, I'm really kind of liking this one.
Yeah. Yeah. You go from, I don't know about this one to give me more.
Do you guys think it's a rye? Do you think it's a whiskey? If you were going to guess, what would you say?
I would guess rye.
It's
Okay.
spicy enough to be a rye. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get potpourri out of my mind.
As we talk a little tasting notes and stuff like that, Sean, we'll start with you this time. Anything of note that you'd like to throw into the equation here?
The spice was in the middle somewhere for me. It wasn't generally I get spice at the beginning of a drink, whereas this one hit in the middle, which is odd for me.
Yeah.
it builds.
Yep. It does build.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mitchell, you said a couple things. You talked about it continuing to build and stick with you. And of course, you were the first one to say the pickle. Anything else tasting notes on this one?
No, I'm really still just getting that pickle. The pickle dies down at the end, but like Kathy was saying, it's still building. I still have that spike in the back of my throat. I have that warm belly sensation still going on.
Yeah. like if you open up your mouth and breathe out after you've drank it, it's still kind of get that tingly zing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually,
Sticks with-
my lips are kind of tingly from it still.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Jeannie, what else do you want to add to this one?
Well, even though it's spicy, it's for me, it is staying in the back of my throat. I don't feel like that Kentucky hug going all the way down. It
Right.
just stays right in the back, which is interesting.
Yeah. I think now that you mention it, I would concur. I say the same thing. So, Paul, how about you?
I'd throw a little pepper in with the other flavors.
Yeah. Definitely get that pepper. I mean, it's kind of sticks with you. Mike, what are your thoughts?
Man, this is gonna be weird, but as soon as y'all started talking about pickle, what I picked up was the back in the dark ages, my great grandmother used to just can and ferment everything.
Yeah.
And she did it all in a bunch of old wooden vats, and that's the smell and kind of taste I was getting was those old wooden crockery, wooden fermenting vessels that she used to use to make sauerkraut or whatever.
Yeah.
When they were done. But
Mhm.
it's really enjoyable. It started off, it hit me with the that little menthol effect right on the first sip. That kind of has that cool and tingly and
Yeah,
going on.
that's a good way to put it. Yeah, the
That
menthol
always
effect.
kind of
Yeah.
goes to that ends up going to earthy, which this one I like. Yeah, this one I like what you said. It's a good steak whiskey.
Yeah, definitely. Terry, we'll jump up to you.
Yeah, I got a lot of the same things everybody else did. I would say initially pepper, spice, later on some cloves, and
Okay.
Mike saying the menthol. I couldn't put my finger on that. Getting the menthol at the more in the finish.
Yeah. I thought that menthol was a really good call. So he was the first
Yeah.
one to say that. And that's one where I was like, yeah, I totally get that, but wasn't able to catch my brain up to what that taste was. So until he said that. So Milton, how about you?
Cools, man. Too many years of smoking cools.
Now you know what it came in handy for. So yeah, it's all built up to that moment, Mike. Milton, how about you, man?
I like the menthol. I got that as soon as he said that.
Yeah.
Potpourri and almost like a pine, but not in a like a pine tree, fresh pine tree, but more like pine sol.
Okay. Pine sol in a good way, because I've never been tempted to drink any pine sol. It's that's some pretty harsh stuff, man. My mom used to use pine sol. We don't use it at my house, but my mom, when I was growing up, my mom definitely always used pine sol. So it's very distinct for sure. Kathy, how about you?
Yeah, the nose on it was hardly anything, and then you taste it, and it's so good and warm and spicy, and it grows on you.
Yeah.
And the menthol that was mentioned, I was like,
Menthol was huge. Yeah. And Jeannie's right too. It definitely. She was the first one to say it kind of grows on you, and it does. It's I initial take was I don't know, and like I said, it's really good. I mean, yeah.
It's got good staying power.
Yeah. All right, let's put B aside. Let's go ahead and pour the next one that'll be in the lineup was D. Let's pour that one in the glass. But we're going to leave that aside for the moment because we're going to be talking about C. Pour
It's
D
darker.
Yeah,
a lot darker than the other two. I thought that same thing. Very copper compared to the light amber of the others.
Yes. Yeah.
It's pretty.
Yeah. For sure. Oh yeah, nice on the nose too. This one's got a really good nose.
Brown sugar.
Yeah.
Lots of oak.
Oak, yeah.
Some maple syrup.
Yeah, maple syrup.
I'm getting like a little bit of along with the syrup and stuff, sort of like a freshness of like a lemon or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Be like candied oranges or something like that.
I mean,
Yeah, oranges. That's
oranges. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, to me, I'm also getting, as I keep nosing, because it's really good nose and there's a lot going on
Mhm.
there. Almost like a marshmallow. I mean, that's in there a little bit. It's good. It's good. There's a lot going on there, which I think is a good sign. I think that's a good preview of what we have to come. Though you never know. You always gotta. The most important thing is always going to be the taste. Good nose is good, but good preview. But let's see if it holds up. If it comes off across as being that good on the taste, let's give it a try. Yeah, there's definitely different flavors across your palate for sure. It's not a one note thing by any means.
I'm definitely getting like the candied citrus and the marshmallow. I'm not getting maple syrup.
I'm not either.
I'm trying.
You're trying. Yeah. Yeah. The
Spice
oranges there.
cake.
Spice cake. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of brown sugar on this.
A lot of brown sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, the more I sip, like subsequent sips, I'm getting more brown sugar.
Yeah.
I like how the heat or the spice is like just down the middle of your tongue.
Just on the middle of your tongue.
Still,
Yeah.
but it still has a good mouthfeel about it. It
Yeah.
doesn't like water out or anything.
Mouthfeel is, I'd say, excellent on this one.
Mhm.
And yeah, it kind of gets that thing too, where you start getting those, kind of spice zingers, and then it builds up again on the center of your tongue. So, yeah. Well, it's been consistent with what we got going on tonight. Paul, what are you tasting as you taste this one?
Well, this is one. I'll admit, this afternoon I opened the bottles and just smelled them a little bit. This is the one that stood out from the bottle smell test.
You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that.
Eatery.
Pre-smelling.
Yeah.
It was a boring meeting. I had to have something to do.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah. There's definitely a
I'm
lot
getting
going on.
that.
In those. Mm-hmm.
A lot of barrel influence for me on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mike, what are your thoughts on this one?
At first, I thought I was getting like dry roasted peanut, but when I went back, I couldn't get it again. So maybe that was just, but a lot of spice up front. So maybe that was just messing with me. I'm almost thinking this one almost has something going on, like it got a little time in a second rum cask or something after the fact. Just kind of something along that lines.
It's in play. It's in play. We're allowed to do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that would explain some of the color too. I don't know. It's good. It's enjoyable. It's just kind of hard to. Nothing really jumps out. It just kind of. It's nice all together, but it's really hard to pick it apart for me.
Yeah. Finishing is allowed. The only rule really is it has to be a whiskey. So I can't throw like an aged rum in there or something like that. But yeah, anything whiskey goes for sure. So that's cool. Kathy, how about you? Tasting notes? Anything?
Yeah, just brown sugar and spice cake, and it's good. This one's going to be a tougher round than the first one.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So this reminds me a little bit what someone just said about a secondary finishing.
Okay.
I just had a Sagamore Spirits this weekend, finished in secondary finish in a tequila
Yeah.
cask, and it reminds me a little bit of that.
Okay.
It has
Okay.
That just kind of hard to describe underlying flavor.
Yeah. Yeah. Sean, anything you want to add for the record on this one?
A lot going on, but the only thing that jumps out is the brown sugar.
Mhm.
But I still want to just go back and nose it because it's just a great nose.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Terry, how about you?
Yeah, I thought it was the best nose of the three, and I think it had the best finish of the three. Jury's still out on the palate. I did get the orange, the brown sugar, and some pepper and spice. I was expecting a lot from the nose, and the palate. I don't know if the palate delivered what the nose detected.
Okay.
It's still good. It's still good. The nose really had me hopeful.
Yeah. Yeah. The nose was, I would say, even explosive. I mean, it was really a lot there, packed a punch, which was nice. Yeah. We'll move to Milton next.
I pretty much got the same stuff: spice, brown sugar.
Okay.
And I don't know if anybody else got it, but it's just really drying.
Okay.
Just dried my mouth out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That could be, again, we're seeing some darker. This one looks a little darker than the other one, so it could be just some of those things from the barrel. So that stuff will get you. It'll definitely provide a drying effect for sure. All right, Mitchell, how about you?
I think probably just caveat off of what most of everybody has said. I agree with Milton. I wasn't picking it up at first, but yeah, I mean, this is really kind of drying out my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that, agreed, it's still great. But I kind of expected something different from what we were getting with the nosing.
Yeah.
I'm still picking up the spice and the pepper and everything like that, and definitely some citrus there. I couldn't really. I was trying to pick up orange. I couldn't really completely identify orange, but I am picking up something citrus.
Okay.
Overall, I mean, I think it's pretty good. I think I was expecting a little something different from the nose.
Yeah. 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 It had a big nose, so that definitely gets your attention, and then does it live up to it? And maybe not, but it was a lot to live up to. I'll say that. So in its defense. So. All right, we will come back to these because it's fun to go back around. You never know; these things do change. Sometimes we even want to lock in. We're like, this one's absolutely the best, or this one's the worst of the group. And then you try them again. It's like, well, I don't know. Things have changed. So keep an open mind with this for sure. So, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and pour E. And just get that one sitting for right now, folks, because we're not going to be talking about that one just yet. We're going to be talking about letter D next. That's the one we're going to be talking about. So, Kathy, you just held that up. How did it look?
It's dark like sea.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
Got good color.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, that's really different.
Yeah, very different, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
This is finished for sure. There's some sort of finish on this.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Yeah.
Milton, that whoever that is, he's too young to braid anything.
Yeah.
Grandson.
That's my grandson. He just got here.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Dylan.
Hey, Dylan.
Say hi, Carrie. Say hi, Carrie.
Hey, Dylan.
Hi, Dylan.
He's like, who are these people?
I do like the nose here. I mean, it's definitely unique.
The smell reminds me of cider.
Cider. Okay. Yeah.
This is going to be weird. I know we got 3 San Antonio boys, Milton and Mike and I all grew up in San Antonio or went to high school in San Antonio. I get like a prickly pear, cactus tequila or something in here.
Okay. Okay.
That's different.
Interesting.
Like when you open the jar of Napolitos and get the first big smell off of it.
I like Sean's comment about the proprietary scoring system. Yes, we do have our own unique scoring system. So
Yeah.
we use it for everything we do, really. We use it for barrel picks. We use it for these events. We use it for, we have cocktail contests. We use it for that. So it's tried and true. That's for sure.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I know what that is.
All right, let's give it a taste. Let's taste it. I haven't tasted it yet, so I'm going to taste it.
That is funky.
It is funky.
It is.
It's almost from like orange to like chocolate even. Maybe it's one of those around the holidays, they have those chocolate oranges that they used to do. They could break it up into slices and that. Because I'm definitely getting some chocolate there. And and definitely some citrus fruity.
I'd bet $1 it's a single malt.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
Is that why it has that funk to it? I'm not a
Yeah.
malt drinker, so
That's why I don't like it, because it tastes like a single malt.
Yeah. Sean, what are your thoughts on this one as you taste it?
I could see the single malt. That makes sense. Now that you
Mhm.
say it,
Mm.
I'm drinking it thinking bourbon and taking my mind a second to shift gears there, but
Yeah. Interesting. Terry, how about you? You're trying it there. What do you think?
It almost tastes like a whiskey rum or whiskey tequila blend. It's finished in rum barrels. It's finished in tequila barrels. There's something really left-handed going on
Okay.
here.
Yeah. Yeah. Left-handed. So apologies to anyone who's left-handed on that.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
I think this has its place. It's not a traditional bourbon. It's not a
Uh-huh.
traditional whiskey. It's definitely, maybe I should have said out of left field
Mhm.
instead of left-handed.
Okay.
But yeah,
All right.
it's interesting. I mean, I like it. I don't say, oh, it's awful, but
Right. Right.
it's
All
a
right.
definite it's definitely different compared to everything else.
Okay. Milton, how about you?
I don't care for it as for a shot. I mean, I can drink it too.
Okay. Okay.
there's
Paul.
something smoky about it.
Okay.
I also do not care for it.
Okay. Okay.
I would say it's black licorice in a mug of Earl Grey tea.
Earl Grey tea. Okay. All right.
Wow, that was good.
That's good. Mitchell, you don't have to listen to these guys. They're you say what you think. Don't let them sway you. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, I'm still trying to put my finger on what the taste is. I think the closest that I've heard maybe is black licorice, and
Mhm.
yeah, not a fan. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This one's struggling. All right. Jeannie, what are your thoughts? Can you help us? Can you make a pitch for this one that's going to turn these guys around here?
No pitch. I am definitely not a fan. No.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Okay.
there's the novelty's interesting if you wanted to pour it to friends or whatever, but I wouldn't want to, that wouldn't be my choice to pour and sip.
Okay.
This one may be one of those that once I know what it is, and if it is something that's not a bourbon, you could get yourself ready for it,
Okay.
and then the experience would be different. But
Yeah.
but right, after what I think is probably at least 2 bourbons and 1 rye, or maybe 2 bourbons and a high rye. My transmission wasn't ready for that. I can't shift
Okay.
that fast.
Yeah,
Have you ever eaten fruit salad when fruit salad's like 2 days or 3 days old? It's starting to turn or something.
Yeah.
It's fermenting. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
the term there. Yeah. Yeah. Or something as simple. Have you ever tried to pick up a soft drink? I don't know whether you drink Pepsi, Coke, whatever it is, but a brown soft drink, and you accidentally pick up someone's glass of tea and you drink it. And it's so shocking, even though you don't necessarily dislike one or the other. It's so shocking that it sometimes you'll spit it out. You'll be like, "Whoa, what the hell is that?" So
Yeah.
I've done that before. Yeah. Because my mom would always drink tea. I would drink soda, and I'd pick that up and drink it. I'd be like, "What the hell?"
Did it right back in her glass too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I've never tasted anything like this before.
Okay.
Well, so if it is a single malt, I'm wondering if it's our friend from Deerhammer.
Okay. She's locking in Deer Hammer.
Uh-oh.
That's where I was headed.
Oh, interesting. We'll see.
me too.
All right. Well, we're going to put it aside. We will come back to it. Maybe time is going to be just change this thing, and you guys, when we go around the second time, you guys will just be loving it. You can't say enough good things, but we'll see. A little air. We'll see. All right. Let's jump to E, our last one. where we'll kind of really get into the details here. Let's talk about E.
Ooh,
It's nice.
sweet.
Fruity. I mean, maybe even a little banana bread. It's good. It's good. All right. Anything else on the nose?
Scalloped corn.
What was that?
Scalloped corn.
Scalloped corn. Okay. All right. Let's
Yeah,
taste it.
like kettle
Oh.
corn.
Kettle corn. Okay.
Oh, corn, good one.
Yeah. Let's taste it.
I'm getting anise.
Anise. Okay.
That's the leftover for Earl Grey from the last one.
Could be.
I need to wash my mouth out.
It's sweet up front, spicy at the back. I mean, kind of transitions somewhere in the middle. It transitions. Mouthfeel is
I
good.
can't get rid of that black licorice flavor.
Mm-hmm. What do we think about this one? Let's start with Mitchell this time. Mitchell, what are your thoughts as you taste this one?
I'm just picking up the spice at the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm honestly picking up a little bit of brown sugar and vanilla with it as well.
Okay. Okay. Some classic notes there for sure. Yep.
That's all I'm really picking up though.
Okay. Jeannie, what are you picking up on this one?
So I'm picking up a lot of sweet, a lot of caramel. This reminds me of a good like entry whiskey for someone who isn't sure if they like whiskey or not, because I think it's very friendly on the palate, you know, because I think it has that sweetness, but then that little zing on the back end. It isn't anything that, you know, you would pick out, you go, ooh, that's awful. I think it's a really pleasant taste.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sean, how about you, man?
Yeah, there's just, I don't know what it is yet, but there's something about it that I just don't like.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna have to work on that.
Okay. If also that strikes you like a lightning bolt, let us know, and we'll get that in there. If not, we will come through a second time. So, Paul, how about you, man?
Definitely get some cinnamon coming in on the finish. Pretty strong for me.
Mm-hmm.
After
That's
you get
good.
past that corn sweetness on the front.
Yeah, definitely corn sweetness on the front. I agree. Mike?
Yeah, I was going heavy corn with yeah, there's a sweet with it, but there's just something else hanging around back there, and I can't tell if it's almost like it's a fermentation product that got its way through.
Okay.
Not in a bad way, it's just can't quite put my finger on it. It's some kind of estery kind of thing going on.
Okay. All right. Kathy, how about you? I'm like a waiter that comes up just as you take a bite. And yeah, how's your meal? How's your meal?
To cleanse my palate,
Okay.
because I still don't get this one.
She can't shake the licorice.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I mean, I do get a lot of the sweet, but I feel like we've had better ones tonight that were just as sweet.
Okay. All right. Milton, how about you?
Cinnamon, brown sugar, and I'm like Sean. I can't figure out what it is, but there's something I don't like about it. There's some
Okay.
flavor.
Okay. Last but not least, Terry.
I think that lingering weird taste that Mike and Milton and Sean, this is going to sound really off the wall, but it's like eucalyptus, like
Eucalyptus.
like a eucalyptus cough drop. I mean, it's really different.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. All right. We'll set that aside. And then we're going to go back all the way back to the top of the order. We're going to start with A again. Again, higher level this time. We're not calling on anybody individually. So please, if there's something you'd like to say, to add to the record, to throw out to the group, that certainly is encouraged. We'll start on the nosing notes. Okay.
This is
This
what's
one's
weird is
really
how
good.
different. It's so much sweeter than it was the first time on the
I feel like
nose.
that powdered sugar is just right up there now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the whole box of Hostess donuts when you open it up, right?
Or even
Yeah.
cotton candy. When
Yeah.
you think about cotton candy, when you're a kid, you get that and it's just sugary sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
This is what's so weird is how different these things are going to nose and taste on the second round after your
Right.
palate's been over a bunch of hurdles.
Yeah.
Get the cherry turned down a bit.
Okay.
This one was really cherry forward, and now I feel like the sugar is going ahead.
Yeah. Let's taste it again if you haven't done that. And
Dylan has opinions.
It's much smoother than it seemed the first time. I mean, and it's probably because it followed some rise and some really weird things there on C, D, and E, but it drinks really smooth with almost no burn now.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. This is just one pour after the other. And yeah, just it's a sipper. So yeah.
I agree as well with Kathy. I think like cherry is much dimmer and I'm picking up more sugary now.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm picking up a little more vanilla than I did the first time as well.
Yeah. Get a little more. There's still it's still complex though. There's still some brown sugar there and stuff. So yeah, it's good. But
It's almost like if you could inject a little bit of alcohol into some simple syrup.
yeah,
You can. It's called an old fashioned.
Oh, there you go.
there you go.
My favorite.
I was thinking vodka and simple syrup because I'm not, but yeah, it's much better the second time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's put that aside. And let's grab B. Let's talk about B. Also kind of changed on
Really
the nose.
good.
Yeah.
I feel like now I'm getting candied orange,
Candied orange.
but
Okay.
that wasn't even on this one.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. To me, it's kind of Nilla wafers.
Suggestion.
Yeah, it's kind of Nilla waferish to me.
There you go.
That's what I'm catching on it. It's good though. It's really nice. Which is weird because we talked about this one being savory last time. So let's see. The nose makes it seem like it's going to be sweet the second time through on the taste. Let's taste it.
Mike, come on, Mike.
Come on, Mike. You're a professional.
Wow.
All right, let's taste this one again.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The
So
palate
which
is
one
so
had the
far from the
higher
nose,
menthol?
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is horrible. It tastes very earthy and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. After that nose, you would think it's going to be on the sweet side, but it's still more savory and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd say the palate held a lot closer to what it did the first time around, but the nose was just completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm still picking up a little bit of that dill fermented earthiness, but
It's different.
yeah, it's dessert when you smell it, but then a steak whiskey when you drink it. So
Right.
good luck making that work.
So you drink your first 2 glasses with your steak, and then you have your second 2 glasses with your dessert.
What else do we want to say about this one for the record? It's pretty good.
The second or third sip were better than the first sip.
Yeah.
Is anybody still ethanol, menthol?
No,
I
I
got it.
kind of took it down.
It's like right when it hits your tongue, and then it doesn't hang as much as it did the first time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we talked about like the steak crust on an episode, not too long ago, and I'm feeling like that's kind of maybe that's playing in there too.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. All right. All right. That's good. That's good. We'll set that one aside and we'll go to C. C was, if we'll remember back, was just explosive on the nose. And there was some talk of didn't quite live up to it on the taste. Let's see, second time through, if we're getting kind of some of those similar notes.
Much more maple syrup than the first nose.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely changed on the nose. It was this layer of all kinds of stuff the first time, but
Some dark chocolate this time.
dark chocolate. Okay.
This was the one that you said the chocolate covered orange slices, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's try it. Let's see what we got. Yeah.
Much better the second time around.
Yeah.
You liked it better you liked the palate better this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Still got a lot of spice, and it seems to me it's a higher proof.
Yeah.
This is the one that people were pointing out as the rye the first go around, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely a lot of spice at the end for sure. I think it heats up with the spice more on the tongue than it did the first time through. It's really coming at me here. Yeah.
This one had that big air of like maybe being finished the first time, and I don't get that this time around.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's still a little dry. And hold on to a little bit of the dryness and the oakiness.
You can smell the oak.
Yeah.
I like the build from the front to the middle to the finish. It really like goes uphill.
Yeah.
I get kind of like the spice, kind of like centerlines your tongue, like from the very tip all the way to the back. For me, it's just right down the middle. Kind of, it's really interesting. Doesn't kind of grab you anywhere on the palate, just kind of right down the middle.
Yeah, I'm trying to put my finger on it. That's the perfect way for me. Yeah, just right down the tongue.
Yes.
The line drive. We call that a line drive.
Oh, line drive.
Extra. It's a double though. It's not a single. It's at least a double.
It's a double.
Maybe a triple.
This is the first time.
Maybe a ground rule double. Yeah.
This is the first time I've done anything like this, so this is really experience.
Oh, what an atom ball!
Yeah, Mitchell got this for his birthday, which is very cool. So,
wow, that's
happy
fun.
birthday!
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
His girlfriend is the best. I've never met her, but I'm a big fan because she gave the gift of the ABV Network virtual events for her birthday gift. So
yeah, she did. She knows I love whiskey, and she said, I want you to experience this, and it's been awesome. So
that's cool. We do it several times a week, these events, and it's a never evolving group, though. You start seeing the same faces if you come up to enough of them, because there's not anybody that attends all of them. So, but it's a big enough group that we do this several times a week. And if you like it, definitely check out what we've got going on and sign up for some more, because
I will absolutely be signing up for more. This is an awesome experience just to kind of get together and listen and learn.
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah, you end up getting friends from all over the country too, which is kind of cool. What part of the world are you from? What part of the country?
so right now we're living in Charleston.
Okay, in Charleston. Oh, very
Beautiful.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's a great place for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think right now? Are you going to be moving?
No, so she actually got a promotion, so she'll be working remote, and I just took a job with Amazon, so I will be remote as well. And
Okay.
we're deciding if we're going to stay here or if we're going to move, because we could go to Seattle or San Antonio. For
Oh,
my
you joined the Texas crew. You joined the Texas crew.
Yeah,
there.
go to San Antonio just for the Mexican food. Go.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
Okay.
plus you get a lot more sunny days than Seattle. Let's just come on.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. I didn't really plan on it, so it was either here or go to San Antonio, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Mike and Milton, back me up.
San Antonio is the place to be.
Yeah.
I lived in both, and you, for me, you can't go wrong with either one. I'll lead with that. Now, you know,
Okay.
having spent 40 years in San Antonio, you're kind of, there's where my heart lies. But
Yeah.
Summer in
Nice.
Seattle and winter in San Antonio.
There
Yeah.
you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
See, so before I moved here, I lived in Tennessee for 4 years, and she hasn't. So we're also thinking possibly go back to Tennessee because we got 2 lakes there. So
Okay.
And it's also very close to distilleries.
Yeah.
exactly.
there is that.
So this right
Distilleries.
here, while I was going to school after I got out of the Marine Corps, I actually did marketing for Jack Daniels. So that's
Oh, that's cool.
that's where I originally found my whiskey palate.
Okay. Nice. Nice. All right. Well, let's move on to D. This is an interesting one. Not
We've been
just
trying
so
to
popular.
delay this.
Not so popular the first time through. Yes. Let's see. I want
We're trying,
the
guys, we're
crew that was
trying.
against us to be honest. If it's great on the second time, please don't lie. Be honest.
It might
right?
be completely different.
Yeah.
It doesn't nose different. This one knows. This one knows
exactly the
almost
same.
exactly like the first.
Exactly the
nose.
same.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gone. I think it's actually noses a little further off the rails.
Okay.
Almost.
Okay.
Yeah, it smells floral to me on the nose.
Okay.
It's almost like rose water.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yeah.
I don't know
Rose
if anybody's
water.
ever had those Turkish delight candies that are like sweet but rose water, and that
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Okay.
It reminds me of rose water and pickles. Or-
Rose-
It's just such a
That's always
awful
popular.
smell.
Okay.
Steve, do we really have to taste this?
You do. Absolutely. I think you're going to be a fan the second tasting. I think it's going to change everything. So let's see what we got.
I wish somebody could tell me what I'm tasting. I know what it is, but I can't figure out in words what it is.
We'll save
It's
a
a
little bit.
little
We will
less
share it at
black.
the end. We'll share it at the end, of course. So
Yeah.
Is this cognac? Is it rum? There's some sort of
Hey,
weird.
I can't do
weird-
that. That's illegal. That would
I
be- it
know.
has
Yeah, I
to
know
be
you're going to tell us
classified as whiskey.
eventually.
Yes. Yes.
I think
There's
it's
some.
coffee, now that you said that.
Yeah.
You,
It's a
you
little-
get some cognac finish.
Yeah.
I will admit it's better the second go around for me, but I'm still not a fan.
Okay.
There is less black licorice, but it's
Yeah.
still a couple Earl Grey.
I'm going to make a prediction that it comes in last for all of us.
Just think if this comes in first. It surprises all of us.
It is. I will say this much. It is better. It is
Okay,
better than
okay.
the first
See?
time around. But it's got a place. You know, some things go better with fish. Some things go better with pork. Some things go better with steak,
Is it?
vegetables.
Yeah. Well, like, so say you came over to my house and that's what I was pouring. Would you continue to drink it or would you be like, no, thank you? Or would you be like, yeah, I'll drink it?
I think it got sweeter.
Okay.
It did.
It's like, to me, it's like a menthol Fruit Loops syrup.
That's,
Fruit Loops.
if we were doing a barrel pick, that's what we call it. Menthol Fruit Loops. I like it.
And it would sell not a bottle.
Mhm.
Because who wants to buy menthol Fruit Loops?
If
Well, if
If-
you've got Toucan Sam smoking a cigarette, people are going to buy it.
if
We'll
you
blow
put
through 'em.
if you put
How
Ben
about
Gay
the-
if you put Ben Gay on some Count chocolate,
Okay. That's where we're at. Okay. All right. I think this is going to be the winner. We'll see. We'll see. Let's set it aside. We got to get to the voting first. And I do have people voted before tonight. So we've got a bunch of people at New Orleans Bourbon Festival. So that's why attendance is a little light.
hi Dylan, good night. Night,
Bye.
night.
So I've already got votes in here. So it could be so far ahead of the game that it's going to win. All right, let's talk Edie. On the nose. It's good on the nose.
So banana bread. And
Banana bread. Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Which
Yeah.
was consistent with, I think, the first time through. It doesn't feel like this one's really changed. So let's taste it. Let's see what we got. To me, it's sugar sweet up front and just very spicy on the finish that continues to grow and build over the next several minutes afterwards.
Well, so
I'm
this
still
one
getting that
maybe
weird
a little hotter.
Yeah, I'm still getting that weird eucalyptus burn or something.
Eucalyptus, okay.
Liniment.
Liniment, okay. Yeah. Interesting. Anything else on this one? Okay. What we need to do next is give everyone just a little bit of time to make that ranked list. Again, you're going to rank it from number 1 being your favorite of the evening to number 5 being your least favorite. Please fill in all 5 where they stand. And you need to do that. And then we will get those numbers from you and we'll come up with our final score using our proprietary scoring system. We need to get a patent on the scoring system. That'd be nice. It would be nice if it was our patented scoring system. And no one else could use it without paying us a royalty. Oh, that would be sweet. Just sit back and whiskey tasting events going all over the world, sending us checks for using our patented scoring system.
Passive income from whiskey, man.
Yeah,
It doesn't get any better than that.
That would be sweet. Well, that would be pretty darn cool. So
all you have to do is submit for the patent, and it takes so long before
it's
they
patent
actually-
pending. During that whole time, it's patent
Yeah.
pending. Yeah.
So you got 10
For
years of
ranking?
patent pending.
Yeah. Then I'll go on Shark Tank trying to sell it to them. Yeah. Because I like that show. So I'd go on there. And it would be a great boom for these events because everyone would see it on Shark Tank and they'd be talking about these great events. And yeah. And you guys, suddenly they will all be sold out.
Hey, Mitchell, have you been to the Charleston, what is it, Charleston Distillery or something? They make the Vessie's bourbon. Have you been down to that micro distillery yet?
I haven't been there yet. I'm trying to get there as soon as possible.
Yeah. Get there, man.
Promise you I will be joining much more. So as soon as I get there, I will let you guys know.
Report back to us. Yes.
I will.
Yeah. I do always follow these up with an email. So in that email, I'll have a couple things for you. I will have, since Mitchell's here and he's new to this, I'll put a link to my page where you can look at all the events that are out there. I'll also put a link to the next whiskey fight, which that's going to happen Tuesday, April 26th. So that's our next one that's scheduled. Again, we'll get together 5 total whiskeys. We'll do a blind tasting. 2 of them will be carryover from tonight. We'll have our champion as well as our second place will be coming in. And again, we're not going to be the same whiskey. It'll be something else. We like to mix it up with these things and utilize their portfolio. So it'll be fun to see where we got, see if someone could be going for a third time. And they just keep going until they get beat. So if they come in first or second, they continue on their journey through this fun thing. So is everybody ready? Does anybody need more time to get their list? Okay. What I do next is I close the Zoom meeting. So I can't see you guys. So no, you can't use chat or anything like that. I see a couple got chat already, but I'm going to ask you to read them off to me because I can't see that while I'm in the spreadsheet. Now, some people who are really good and maybe younger than me, but I'm on the wrong side of 50. So I just need to ask you, and then you tell me what your ranking is. I apologize, but yeah, that's what happens when you have an old guy running things. So, so apologies up front. I'm going to call out your name, and then please share me your ranked list. Milton, you are first on my list.
Number 1 was A,
Okay.
and then I had a 3-way tie, so the tiebreaker goes to C,
Okay.
B, E, D.
Okay. Paul.
C, E, A, B, D.
C. What was your second one? I apologize because I got C.
E.
And then what? B
E.
or E?
E. Edward.
E. Edward. Okay. Okay. Then what? Then A.
A.
Okay.
B. D.
Okay. D. All right. I still feel like D is going to pull this thing out. So it's in last place right now, but it's going to make a run here. Mitchell, what do you got? You want to start with D first?
No,
Okay. Darn
I
it.
will go with C A B E D.
Okay. Jeannie, you're next.
E C B A D.
Okay. Kathy.
C A B E D.
What I'm talking about, Kathy.
All right, Terry.
I'm gonna go with Charles, Boy, Apple, Edward, David.
Okay. Currently, right now, D is in first place. We'll see. We'll see how this is. I'm going to check what we got here. Ooh, okay. Interesting. All right. Anything can still happen, though. Mike Gascamp, you're next.
Alpha, Charlie, Bravo, Echo, Delta.
Charlie, Bravo, Echo, Delta. Okay. Sean.
B A C D E.
Okay. I think I got everyone. Did I, in fact, get everyone here? All right. I'm going to write this down.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.
So we know we got a Beam product and we got a Buffalo Trace product in here. Anybody want to guess which one's Buffalo Trace and which one is a Beam product?
Okay. Anybody like to guess which one is the Beam product?
E.
B.
A.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. So I'm writing this down, and then we'll come in and I'll address this in just a second. Let's see.
Table
okay.
that for now.
Table it for just 1 second. I'm writing down our thing. We definitely, there's no ties or anything, which is nice. And we do have a champion, which is, very cool. And yes, we'll talk about this in just a second. Interesting results for sure. All right. All right. Let me come back to the group here. Join you guys. Get away from that spreadsheet. And let's see what we got. Okay, I'm back. All right. Let's start first officially asking who thinks they know what is the Buffalo Trace product. I'm going to ask everybody. Sean, what do you think?
I don't have a clue.
Okay, no vote. Terry, Buffalo Trace product.
I'm gonna go with C, and I'm guessing it's one of the Wellers.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Mitchell.
Oh no.
Don't know.
No.
Okay, so 1 in 5 shot. Paul.
E.
B. Okay.
No, E. Edward.
E. Edward. Okay, Edward. Sorry. Milton.
C.
C. Okay. Jeannie.
C.
C. Okay. Mike Gascamp.
I thought A was a Trace product.
Okay. And last but not least, Kathy Cool.
Out A. C
A.
A.
A. Okay. All right. The Beam product. The Beam product. Kathy, we're going to start with you this time. What's the Beam product?
I have no idea.
Okay. Fair enough. Mike.
I abstain.
I'm going to go with C.
C. Okay. All right. We'll go to Jeannie next.
B.
B. Okay. Mitchell.
I think B.
B. Okay. Paul.
B for Beam.
Okay. Milton.
A.
A. Okay. Terry.
E for beam, and let's put Allegiant next to it.
Okay. All right. And last but not least is Sean.
B.
B. Okay. I can tell you this. The Beam product, no one got it. No one guessed it correctly. Zero. I can tell you that 2 people guessed correctly the Buffalo Trace product. That is Mike and Kathy. A is the Buffalo Trace product. Buffalo Trace. So now it is time to reveal how our whiskeys did and what they are. What they are. So in last place, with a score of only 13 points. It's unfortunate. It was a little bit out there. So I thought this, again, I hadn't tried it. I had 1 bottle of it. So I thought I'd try it for this event. It's an experimental thing. And it's from our friends at Deer Hammer. So Lenny Eckstein, last place, unfortunately.
Letter?
That is letter D. Letter D, as you can imagine.
The one
And
you
what
nailed, Kathy.
what product was it?
So here's and it's an
called it?
experiment. It's an experiment. It's not anything that he even has for sale anymore. He's, matter of fact, it's old enough that he's getting ready to release the next in the series. It's a yearly release. I texted him while we're doing this because I wanted to know what the scoop on this one was. So it is a collaboration with a brewery, Crooked Stave Brewery, and it is fermented beer that he mixed with some malted barley. And then he double pot distilled it and aged it for 5 years. So again, very different, very unique. Something that, and then he finished it cask savant. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on there. I apparently didn't hit the mark for you guys, but definitely way out there. So that was unfortunately that was last place. In 4th place with 36 points was E, our runner-up last time, Jim Beam, Old Granddad 114. Old Granddad 114. This surprised me. Yeah, that I thought that one would, because we always say we're proof and we love proof. We're bourbon fans. We proof. This was by far the highest proof of anything out there. So it was 114. And then D was 100, the one we just talked about. C was 107.4. B was 101 proof. And A was only 90 proof. And we'll talk about what those are in just a second here. But so yeah, by far the highest proof. And yeah, interesting. So Beam will now have to sit out at least 1 month. They cannot play next month, and their status as being the top contender is now gone. Okay, in 3rd place, this is the first one that will not make the cut, will not move on, and cannot be next month. This is interesting because it's one of my favorite whiskeys. It's something that I normally order when I go to a bar, because it's just a little bit different, a little bit unique, very affordable though. And that is Wild Turkey 101 Rye. That is B as in boy, 38 points. Wild Turkey 101 Rye. So the next 2 are our champion and a runner-up. So they'll be the number 1 competitor. And I will say this, we're going to have a new champion, but Buffalo Trace is still going to be in the mix. Harlan Wheatley is our runner-up. He was A with 45 points. Ancient Age. Fantastic score by him, by the way. That's a bottom shelfer. What does that stuff cost? $10 a bottle or something great? That's a very solid finish against some tough competitors here. And to be that close and within 3 points of our champion, not bad at all for a bottom shelfer. I think that's maybe the surprise of the night, to still be in the mix, putting that one out there. So congratulations, really. It didn't win tonight, but I think that's a win in some ways. So in 1st place, our champion, we have a new champ. We'll be back next month as well. That is Kentucky Peerless. So Caleb Kilburn, the master distiller there. This was their bourbon, came in at 107.4 proof. The 48 points is what they scored in the evening, and they are our champion. So Peerless is the champ. How about that? Pretty cool stuff, right?
Peerless?
What's that?
What was it? Kentucky Peerless?
Kentucky Peerless, yeah. So
How much are they selling their bourbon for these days?
It's around 60, right there. The bourbon's about 60, and the rye is still about 100 in there, somewhere in there. So yeah, it's up there. So
Steve, the Peerless was just the straight small batch bourbon.
Small batch bourbon, correct. So
How many points did the Wild Turkey have?
Wild Turkey, that was B, so that had 38 points. So
38. Okay.
yeah, it was back significantly from breaking into second place because that had 45. So yeah, so that's
Everybody agreed was a rye.
it was a rye. Yeah, I think everyone got that. A lot of people noted it spicy, and definitely the discussion was that it's a rye. It definitely is a rye.
I didn't have it down as the 101. I thought it was the 86.
Yeah, that was the 101. So how about that? So interesting stuff. Once again, a fun night of whiskey fights. The blind tasting is good because it takes out all the preconceived notions and stuff like that, and just puts us in a situation where we're focusing totally on what's going on the palate. And it's a great equalizer. So it's fun to do. So we'll be back next month with Peerless in the mix. Again, could either be their bourbon or their rye. And we'll be going up against, for sure, we know that it's going to be going against Buffalo Trace. So interesting stuff.
What is the proof on the Buffalo, on the Ancient Age?
That's 90 proof. Comes in at 90.
They have another one that's 80, right?
What is that? The ancient age, or is it Ancient Age? I don't know if they have a second one.
The regular Ancient Age is 80 proof.
80 proof. Okay. Well, this version, at least, unless I wrote it down wrong, which is a possibility. Maybe it's 80. I thought I looked on and it was 90, but
yeah,
I could be wrong.
Was this the 10 star?
No, it was not. It was not. So, but I do have some of that. I got plenty of that stuff around. So that could be in the mix at some point. I just killed a bottle of that actually the other night. So yeah, good stuff. So there you go. That's our whiskey fights for the month, and new champion crowned. But Buffalo Trace, Mr. Harlan Wheatley, will get a rematch. He'll be back next month to see how he does. So on that note, we'll say goodbye. I'll turn off the recorder, but I'll stick around for a little bit and answer any questions, talk bourbon, whatever you'd like. But we'll say goodbye for our folks watching this on YouTube. See you guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Yeah.
Peace.